Right, hello guys, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I am excited to bring you the new #1 best gun in multiplayer setup, and I'm going to show you that, guys, today, which is the RAM-7. I believe the RAM-7, especially this setup here, is the #1 gun in multiplayer, and I'm going to show you attachments right now. So here it is on your screen: the muzzle being the Muzzle Break, the barrel being the FSS Ranger, the stock being the XRK close quarter stock, the underbarrel being the Commando foregrip, and finally the rear grip being the Stipple Grip tape. And that's all you need to make the best RAM-7 class setup. And not only that, I believe this setup and this gun here is the #1 gun in multiplayer. And when you see today's gameplay, you'll understand why I believe that. Because today's gameplay you're going to be seeing is a 97, that's right guys, a 97 and 9 kill gameplay with this gun, with this setup. And in that gameplay I'll be explaining why I use these attachments and what makes this setup so damn dominant in multiplayer. So yeah, let's get right into today's gameplay. Right, hello guys, and welcome to the gameplay section of the video. And not only that, this is going to be the part where I'm discussing my attachments and why I'm using the attachments on this just unbelievable, and I mean unbelievable, RAM-7 class setup. I'm not even kidding, I'm going to say it now. This is the best class setup I have ever made, okay? Honestly, when you guys try this setup, you will just understand how good this setup is and why I think this RAM-7 here is the #1 weapon in multiplayer, okay? This is a multiplayer build, okay? This is not for Warzone. You guys can try out on Warzone if you want to, but I would not suggest that just because it's not really built for Warzone, you know? I haven't got the 50 mags on, there's no monolithic suppressor. There's reasons for that, because this is for multiplayer and strictly only multiplayer. But obviously the gameplay, like I said in the intro, you're going to be seeing a 97, that's right guys, a 97 and 9 kill gameplay with this RAM-7. So I'm not going to keep you too long, let's get into it, let's talk about the setup, because you guys have already seen it, and some of you guys may have already noted it down, but some of you guys might want to know why I use these attachments, what makes my attachments so good for the RAM-7. So let's get into it, let's start with the muzzle. Now, you guys are probably used to me on this channel, sitting there and saying, use the monolithic suppressor, or use the compensator. But for once, and probably the first time all year, this is the one time I'm going to tell you not to do that. Do not use either of those. No compensator, no monolithic suppressor. I want you guys to put on the Muzzle Brake. Now the Muzzle Brake is massively key to this, because this gun is a little bit different to other guns. Because I'm sure you've heard of the complaints, and some of you guys from using the RAM-7 might also have had the complaint that the RAM-7's recoil is a bit dodgy. It's a bit all over the place. There's moments where it's like pinpoint accurate, and then the next minute it's flying all the way to the right, or it's flying all the way to the left. You have no idea what's going on. Well, this is where the Muzzle Brake comes in, because the Muzzle Brake, all it does, and this is all it simply does, is recoil stabilization. And what this helps with is your horizontal recoil. Now, I've said this many times on this channel before, but vertical recoil is very easy to control, and the RAM-7 doesn't have too much vertical recoil. It's very easy to just simply pull down the controller, compared to the issue with this gun, which is the left to right sway, and then the eventual right kick that goes all the way to the right. Not up and right, but all the way to the right. And it is unbelievably hard to control. But if you put on the Muzzle Brake, this just reduces that massively. It makes this gun so accurate. And trust me, we're going to make it even better. It's not just this attachment that we're going to be using to better the recoil and make this gun a pinpoint accurate laser, which, like you're seeing in the gameplay, is just unbelievably accurate. That's not me just controlling it, I've made it easier to control, okay? And this should be easy for all you guys to control as well. So yeah, the only negatives are aim down, sight speed, and aiming stability, but don't worry, as always, I've got some attachments that'll fix that. So yeah, moving on to the next part, which is the barrel. We need some damage, okay? We need to make sure the damage on this gun is better, and we can't do that with the monolithic suppressor, because as I've said, we're using the Muzzle Brake. So what I've went for is the best damage barrel on this gun, the FSS Ranger, and this increases your damage range, your bullet velocity. It makes the recoil control better, so this will help with your vertical recoil as well. The only negatives: aim down, sight speed, and movement speed. Now movement speed isn't that big of a deal, it's like a 1%, 2% reduction to your overall movement speed, which might affect your strafe a little bit, but don't worry, that's not really that necessary, especially on this gun. This is more of your, like, how would I put it? This gun is more of like a snapping class setup. It just snaps onto people, you know, and once you snap onto them, 1, 2, 3 bullets, that's it, they're gone. They're going to get deleted off the map, and you're going to see that in this gameplay, that people are actually getting completely deleted off the map. It's unbelievable how fast this gun kills. But yeah, damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control, all massive benefits to the gun. You're going to need these to get the best benefit and the best RAM-7 that you need So yeah, next up, next attachment. This is something that you guys have probably not seen me use all year as well. Basically, all these stocks are named kind of the same, but pretty much you always have a stock that does your aim down sight speed, and you've probably noticed all year I haven't used one that's done that. The only things I've really used in the stock category are the no stocks or any barrel with like their own specific stock, like an M13 stock or skeleton stock, etc. Basically, and they normally do the aim down sight speed and the aim walking route speed. But what I went with, because the RAM-7 doesn't have a no stock and it doesn't have a skeleton stock, it only has 3 choices, which is the F-Tac Equilibrium, which is like your aiming stability, the Ultralight Hollow, which does your aim walking route speed, which is a pretty good attachment, but that's not what we're going to be using, because what we need is better aim down sight speed, and the only thing that's going to do that for us is the XRK Close Quarters stock. That does the aim down sight speed, and the only negative is the aiming stability. But like I said before, we can fix that. You're probably thinking, why am I using that stock to make the aim down sights better, when I could quite easily use a laser and put on a tac laser or the 5mm laser. Now see, the problem with this is for multiplayer. It's a lot different to Warzone. In Warzone, it's quite easy to get away with a laser due to the open space that you're in and the different, how would I put it, the different gunfights that are at longer ranges. You can get away with using a laser quite easily, as it's not that easy to spot in Warzone. But in multiplayer, you're in close quarter situations 9 out of 10 times, especially if you're playing ground war. There's a lot of times where you're going to have like close quarter situations. Even if I am playing on a map like Promenade, which most of the time people are sniping the hell out of it, okay? People keep on sniping on this map. But as you can see, I'm getting into those close quarter situations. Now I know my pistols have got lasers on, but that's just to improve the hip fire actually. But yeah, so I didn't go with laser because I didn't want to be spotted. I didn't want to have people just looking for my green laser shining across their screen. Instead I went for the XRK close quarter stock. And it does make a massive benefit to the aim down sight speed. Like, you will definitely feel that. So definitely put that on. Make sure you have that on. And then next, you've probably noticed a few of these attachments have had a lot of aiming stability as a negative. And the way to fix that is with the good old Commando foregrip. Yes, the Commando foregrip. The negatives are the movement speed. But again, I'm going to tell you now, the movement speed is not a problem. Again, this is your snapping weapon. This isn't about strafing side to side. This is your weapon to snap on a target quickly and just delete people as soon as you put them in your iron sight. But yeah, the benefits are though, the recoil stabilization, like I've said before with the Muzzle Brake, this is going to improve your horizontal recoil. And that's the biggest problem with this gun, is the horizontal recoil. And like I've said before in previous videos, horizontal recoil is almost uncontrollable depending on the pattern, but most of the time, any left to right like recoil is very hard to control compared to recoil that just goes straight up. So recoil stabilization improves your horizontal recoil, and then we have the aiming stability, which will make the gun not sway as much and definitely reduce the negatives of the other attachments, making the aiming stability worse. So yeah, and then finally we move on to the last attachment. What do we want with this gun? This is like your SMG AR. That's how I describe the RAM-7. It's a very good SMG AR hybrid. Think of it, in my opinion actually, if you played Black Ops 4, think of it as the Maddox. It is literally like a Maddox. It's just such a similar gun in every way. It's an AR that you can use like an SMG and play with it like an SMG. But the rear grip, the final thing we're putting on this, is the Stipple Grip tape. And what this is going to do is improve the aim down sight speed and the sprint to fire speed. And obviously, this allows me to aim down sight quickly. And not only that, when I'm sprinting and want to go back into aiming down sight, I'll be able to do that quickly too, because that will be reduced due to the sprint to fire speed. The cons are the aiming stability. But again, like I said before, I got the Commando foregrip. That's going to massively just reduce the negative of that to basically nothing. Because as you can see, as you guys have probably seen throughout this gameplay, I have been snapping onto people like no one's business. This gun here and this setup is one of my favorite setups I've made throughout the entire game. And I'm not even kidding. I'm not even trying to like, how would I put it, overstate how good this gun is. This gun is the best gun in multiplayer by a mile. I know people are going to sit there and question me on that and say, surely it's the FAL with its like 2-shot and 1-shot capabilities. But honestly, I have so much more success and have such better games with the RAM-7, and proof is right here. A 97 and 9 gameplay. So what I'm going to do now, guys, after explaining all the attachments and that, I want you guys to try out this setup, give it a shot, and just tell me in the comment section below what you think of this setup, because I cannot believe how good this setup is. And honestly, nobody uses these attachments. Nobody uses the RAM-7 even. Like, you look at the kill feed, look how many people use the RAM-7. It's MP5, sniper, someone's using a Bison, you know, someone's probably using a FAL. You don't see this gun. It's the most underrated gun in all of Modern Warfare for multiplayer, and it's even a good gun for Warzone. You've seen my Warzone class setup. It's a good gun for Warzone too. But this setup here is specifically for multiplayer. and it's just unbelievable. So give it a shot, try out this setup, enjoy the rest of this gameplay, but I hope you try out this setup. Make sure you put this class on and just see how good this thing is in multiplayer. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay, but yeah. And yeah, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe and notifications on, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.